and gentlemen, the show is about to begin.
Hello there, and welcome to the True Pop Culture 7 show, a very special episode of the True Pop Culture 7 show. Technically, it's the 31st, but didn't put it in the title. We'll definitely be sure to put that in later. But yeah, it's a special episode because, firstly of all, it's not on Sunday, and nothing happened in the past few days. Me and Mr. Bug, just put out some clips of some kind of, what was it? Die Justice League, something like that.
Some silly little game.
Yeah. And it kind of went viral, like just a tiny bit. Like I've not been like muting my Twitter whatsoever, but hey, this shit happens.
Did you hear people are mad on the internet? Oh my god!
What?
I can't believe it.
This is news to me. Wow.
Breaking news.
Well, some of them are mad at me for some reason, and some of them are rightly so mad at the game. I'm as well. But yeah, it's amazing what a little bit of footage from the actual game, how many emotions it can activate in a person. Like that's just fascinating. I'm just learning that. You get put on like Nazi lists, by the way. I go put on.
Oh,
Twitter
did you? Oh, you got some Twitter lists, did you?
Yeah,
I missed those.
Yeah.
I've been on a few
Just
of those.
like,
Those are fun.
What's even the point of those?
You just get surrounded with a cool group of people. If you actually go and check them, it's just like, oh, hey, I actually follow a bunch of these guys. They're pretty great. It's like a little party room, but the host of the party fucking hates you. That's what it feels like.
How many lists have you been? Jeez.
I'm in Canada. I'm on a lot of lists.
Fair enough. Anyway, let's introduce our guests. Right next to me. Oh, sorry. I'm going to put my hands in. Right next to me.
There we go. Mirrored.
Creetosis. How are you doing, my man?
Very tired.
Oh, I bet. I'm drinking
more
coffee
ways
right
than
here.
one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you are internally tired as well.
Oh, very.
Well, introduce yourself, good sir. Tell us where the people can find you. I've put all of these gentlemen's social media links in the description below, so do go check them out after the stream.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel where I stream video games and I make videos about video games and movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you've been covering Doctor Who, Starfield. You even talked about Starfield a lot on the EFAP live stream. Amazing.
Yeah, it was very fun. I'm working on a couple Sharkfield videos.
Nice. Very nice. James, introduce yourself.
Well, hi, I'm MeleeGames of the MeleeGames variety, and thank you, True Pop, for having me on and accommodating my time, as I know you were a British gentleman, and so this is late as fuck for you. But oh my god, I am also angry on the internet because you invited me on to talk about fucking Suicide Squad. I can swear, right? I think I can swear. How do I talk about this game and not swear? I'm on. We went on. We're talking about Suicide Squad today, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm gonna Batman prep. I love Batman. I don't love this game though, so I'm gonna watch a bunch of the footage from the game. I don't want to pay for it because I don't want to give these people money.
Definitely.
But oh my god, I got through about 40 minutes of just the cutscenes. So just the cutscenes. I'm like a third of the way through the game, and I was like, when do I start drinking? This is so terrible. I have notes. I have so many notes on my Superman little booklet here, which I treated this better than they treat Superman in the fucking game. So yep. I'm ready. I'm ready to cry. We're all gonna cry together over this shit, I think. Damn. And laugh.
Yep. Laugh as well. Okay, so let's greet the chat. I can't talk today because it's 2 a.m. Before we get into it, because I know we're all keen and ready, I'll say hello to the chat. We've got Rex with a re. Yes, there were many
Be a
re's.
lot of reading. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Roll your dog, true popcorn. It's very Australian of you, Triss. Thanks, Triss.
Triss is
Rival Tentacle Dude. Hello
Oh,
there,
no.
good sir. I heard about what happened to Batman. I was annoyed, but learning this is supposed to kind of left performance set me off the edge. F Rocksteady and the writers showcasing such disrespect.
And
Well,
Sweet Baby, don't
we'll get
forget
into
them.
We'll get into that. Developers
No, keep him away. We got to keep him away. He
Okay.
does things. Oh,
Okay.
hi Extra Zero. You're the freaking best. But if you
Mhm.
know, you know what those words do to me.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's like Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Yeah,
And go up here.
Steve Ballmer is literally my Beetlejuice. If you say developers 3 times, a bald, sweaty man that used to work for Microsoft and now rubs the legs of basketball players comes and tackles me. It's a whole thing. But yeah, he's over. I've locked Steve Ballmer away in the bathroom with Randy Pitchford. They're having their fun time extra. But he heard those words, and I hear him thumping in there. I don't know what that thumping is, but
Okay.
Terrifying.
Greenhead Anti-Liberal. Hello there. Nice to see you here. AS Pena sucks that this was kind of, yeah. We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
I am greatly upset, as you can see right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I just didn't wear anything relevant. I just Jordan Peterson, Slayer Dragons. You know.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to see Batman and Jordan Peterson have a fight. That should be the
Yes.
with the power of AI, we can make Kevin Conroy's last performance be those two going at it.
Yeah,
Jordan
definitely.
Peterson could be the best Joker ever. He's better than the Suicide Squad Joker. Like
He's
unironically.
his recent tweets are definitely Jokerish. Yeah, definitely.
He's literally the Joker. He's great.
Mhm. Because the people making these lists are bored and miserable and need something to do. Yeah. Completely agree. And Extra Zero with a freaking super chat.
Whoa!
You know you've made it when Movie Block puts down the flaming hot Cheetos and gives you a healthy dose of flaming hot Dumbo opinion. I could not agree with you more, Extra. Thank you so much for the super chat. It goes a long way to support the channel. Thanks, dude. Mola paid for it. Respects incredible.
I know.
Well,
I will go on
it's-
record right now and say if you ever see me playing it, it will have been because it was used. I will buy it from a dollar bin at a Morbid Curiosity like 3 years from now, and I will make
Yes.
sure that they don't get any of my fucking money. I will buy it from the homeless man down the road, and he can go buy whatever with it. But yeah, no, they're not getting my money. They're not fucking getting my money.
Yeah. Can't stay long. It's 3 a.m. Hi and bye. Oh, Inspired Reviewer. Thanks so much for popping in. It is 3 a.m. for you. You are a Frenchman. So, no, have a good night rest. I'm sure you'll watch this live back. So, hello, dude. Nice to see you popping in. Thanks, mate. It would be funny if it was stuck on 69.
How's it going, dude?
Liz good. Okay, I think that's it. Charisma's here as well. Makes it funny. Okay, the extras just saying his super chats have glitched out. Okay. Anyway, that does it for the chat. I guess first off, I'd like to start off with when this game was first announced, Suicide Squad. What were your guys' first impressions? Like, what were your first thoughts? I would say because I was kind of anticipating some kind of sequel to Arkham Knight. I mean, its story, kind of disappointing. The Arkham Knight himself was really disappointing. Like, I remember, like, Rocksteady were telling us, "Oh, this is going to be a new villain. Like, you're never going to see this coming." It's Jason.
Yeah, bullshit a mile away. I was there,
Yeah.
Gandalf, in 2016 or 2014, not hundreds of years ago, but
Yes.
yes. Yeah, no, I am right there with you, True Pop. Arkham City or Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are my favorite games of all time. I say Arkham City is in my top 3, if not my very most favorite game of all time. And I remember the end, I got to the Arkham Knight. We all knew it was a letdown. If anyone doesn't remember, the whole thing with Arkham Knight was they actually got rid of the writer, Paul Dini. And Paul Dini is my favorite Batman writer. He wrote most of the animated series. He helped write Mask of the Phantasm. So a lot of the goodness of the animated series that people like was him. And he also wrote Asylum and City. He found out through Twitter way back then that there was a third game. He was not asked to come back. And it was like, oh, they're making a third game without me. So so that was strike number one. And so a lot of the issues with Arkham Knight, because I still liked Arkham Knight, but there was some weird writingness. I have a feeling they just didn't bring him back because they kind of knew how they wanted to end it anyway. And it's fine, I guess. It was fine. But yes, Arkham Knight ended. It had flaws, and there was a whole twist. Oh, what a twist. Who is the Arkham Knight? And everyone's like, it's Jason Todd. And Rocksteady was on Twitter being like, no, it's not. It's a new person. You don't know that. Spoiler alert, it's Jason Todd. I said that to him in the pre-show when we first hung out, Kay. I do love that. I do. Tobey Maguire is the best. So, yes. Anyway, on what they announced after, I still liked Arkham Knight. I still had a good time with it mostly, even though I bought it on PC. And those who remember suffering through that. But here's the thing. Here's what my brain did. I went, oh, okay, Rocksteady is still making great games, even if they got rid of Paul Dini and all that stuff, even if they got rid of Arlene Sorkin because of money disputes, which was bullshit. But here's what they're going to do. Here's what they're going to do next. I remember, this was my crafted brain idea, is the next game is probably going to be Superman. So the next game is probably going to be Superman, and Arkham Knight has all these little teasers of LexCorp.
Yeah, LexCorp.
Right?
Lex wanting to buy Wayne Tech as well.
So it's like next game is going to be Metropolis. It's going to be Superman, going to introduce Superman. And then I was looking like 10 years ahead. And then I'm like, the next game, they won't do a Superman 2 game. The next game will be Wonder Woman, maybe, or maybe Green Lantern. I've always wanted a Green Lantern game. And then the next game after that will be Justice League. And I was just like, oh, the future is good. Sure, Arkham Knight was a little bit iffy, but they got up their own asses. Whatever. The future is so good. And then they announced Suicide Squad. And I remember my feeling, literally just the name Suicide Squad. And I was like, then. So this outrage, this feelings aren't new for me. So excuse me if I'm not as outraged as everyone else with the recent findings. I've been disappointed since day one. Since they just said it was Suicide Squad, I was like, no. Suicide Squad are the most unlikable, insufferable characters ever. And I think a lot of the issues with this game, it's like, yeah, that's how you kind of write Suicide Squad. They're terrible. They're terrible, punky, gross people that nobody likes. They've never been in good media. They're the most insufferable characters ever in DC. So yes, since day one, that was my thoughts. I fucking hated it.
Damn. Okay. Cree, your thoughts? What were your first impressions when you first heard about the game?
My first impression was pretty much okay. I think
why?
Yeah, kind of. It's worth mentioning, I'm not really much of a comic person, so I wasn't super familiar with the Suicide Squad. And I think this was before James Gunn's movie came out, which I did enjoy that movie. But it was just kind of like, oh, I guess this exists. Okay. And what did they announce it as Kill the Justice League, or is that a subtitle they added on later?
It was a slow rollout. I want to say it was just Suicide Squad game.
Yeah, because I remember hearing things about the Suicide Squad game, and it was just like, yeah, this just looks pretty meh to me. Like, I don't see anything here to get excited about.
No, definitely. Like, I remember the title reveal. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna different to all of you guys.
No, go for it.
I was kind of like excited. I'm like, kill the Justice League? What's that about? Are they introducing the Justice League? Are we going to be able to play possibly as the Justice League in here? You know, kind of like a PvP kind of Suicide Squad or Justice League kind of thing, maybe something like that. In reality, it's a lot worse now that we've seen it. But no, I was kind of interested. You know, just diving into the Justice League. I thought it'd be a game about one character, but now we've got just a whole roster of heroes. So No, I was definitely curious. No, I don't know. I guess looking back at it, I kind of bullshitted myself that there's going to be
No,
any
I appreciated your hope.
Mhm.
It was just yeah, I've never had good experiences with Suicide Squad, and it really shows in this game. Is they're very nihilistic, depressing, bleak characters. There's none of the good that you get from other DC stuff. They're like the C tier villains, and they know they're the C tier villains, and so they act that way, and they're just gross and bland and insufferable. Full disclosure, I haven't seen the James Gunn movie. I watched the other one, and then I watched the animated, now no longer canon Assault on Arkham, and I've read some of the comics, and yeah, I love Harley Quinn. You know, I love her as the Joker's plus one,
Sidekick.
and yeah, and I mean, I think she's been done to death, but you know, Mad Love, the original Paul Dini comic, and then later adapted into the animated series, is like one of the best Batman stories ever. But yeah, I was definitely worried. And that Kill the Justice League thing, I think it makes sense that you were excited for it, because I think it was marketing bait. They wanted it to have a catchy title to make you go, oh, Kill the Justice League. That's shocking. That's punchy. That's attitudey. That's strange. We're gonna kill the world's greatest heroes. Like, for any Marvel fans, imagine something licensed coming out and saying, kill the Avengers. Kill the Avengers. That's such strong marketing. And so they built a whole game kind of out of bait, in my opinion, just to bait you in.
Well, bait would suggest that they didn't kill the Justice League.
That's true. They actually did. They did what they said. I meant
That's what it
bait
says
your
on the
money.
tin.
Bait your money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
But we're not going to do it in a way you like. That's I think the main issue being. I recall the title being revealed shortly after the announcement. Yeah. It was probably. I think it was revealed in like a trailer or something like that. Yeah, and it was like Superman killing a dude with his like laser eyes.
That's right.
And all that, and then it was I remember that trailer.
Because we didn't know who the villains for the Suicide Squad were going to be, so it's like, oh, is it going to be the Joker? That usually is something, but yeah. So yeah, that was like the Jeff Keighley trailer, I believe it was. I think it was. I think it was a Game Awards announcement years ago.
Oh, definitely. So now, let's talk about the development stages of this game. It's been kind of a slow release. I'm pretty sure it was delayed a couple of months.
Oh yeah, it was delayed and delayed again and delayed again. It was one of those.
Would you know why, James?
I mean, you can only theorize so much, but you know, this is a live service game. This is a big undertaking. If you guys remember, Arkham Knight was also delayed. And so Rocksteady's been interesting because they started off as small developer, and then they got the rights to the Batman game with Arkham Asylum, and then they kind of struck gold with Arkham City. And Arkham City was really it was just incredibly well designed, and it was very much like they said in their development process that we're not making the best superhero game. Our goal is to make the best game, period. And so all of the design rolled down from that of like, how do we just make the best game? Batman's almost secondary, and not in an insulting way, but it's just like, we're not thinking of this in a traditional superhero standpoint. We just want to make a quality video game. And that's what really showed. And they kind of got, you know, that's where they started to get their head up their own asses with Arkham Knight. And then it was just like, we're going to make it bigger. We're going to go this. And they had to delay Arkham Knight a few times. So, I mean, it all comes down to money and greed and kind of the change of the industry. And you're seeing this across the board with the industry. This isn't the first game that did this. This is very similar to me to Avengers. And we saw how Avengers went, right? That was a complete shit show. And what I find funny, not actually funny, I don't want to laugh at anyone losing their job, but Eidos Montreal got layoffs, 100 people laid off the day that Suicide Squad came into early access, and they are very similar games, very similar principles. And Eidos Montreal stopped Deus Ex to go work on Avengers and then also make Guardians of the Galaxy after. And so I think we're going to see that repeat. I think Rocksteady is already going to be restructuring. Video game development can be kind of slow. It's kind of like turning a ship. You know you're going to hit that iceberg, but you can try to brace for it. And so I think Rocksteady, kind of seeing how everything has been happening, even before it came out, they're like, okay, we need to restructure. We need to move people out internally. We need to, you know, maybe scale back our DLC plans. So yeah, in terms of the delays, I think it's a huge undertaking to do a live service game, and they probably, they have to develop past the launch as well. And yeah, I think they probably had internal reviews. And didn't the leads of Rocksteady also leave during its development? So there's probably internal conflicts, because obviously this game is not really anything like the previous Arkham games. So
definitely not.
yeah.
They made their own studio, from what I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maybe people will flock over to there now. I don't know. I think they were the main guys behind the Arkham games. I'm not entirely sure, but they were pretty important, and they made their own thing. I know very little about that, but what I do know is making this game a live service. I think that was the first domino fall. I mean, in of itself, that you have to juggle that many characters.
Yeah,
making it live service. I suppose that's just I think what they thought of making it a live service game first, and then kind of, okay, what characters can we choose to kind of fit into that blueprint?
Yeah, and that makes sense. And here's the thing with live service games is I don't super fault the industry for trying to make these work, because it's a way to kind of safeguard your job. So everyone can keep their job in the industry if you have a successful live service game like Warframe. I don't even like Destiny, but like Destiny, it's been more or less successful. And so if you do a traditional video game in the sense of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, where it's just this big undertaking, you release it and that's it, you start working on the next one, you have to, unfortunately, even if it's a success, lay a bunch of people off. And so it's just hey, you did great, you got paid, but we don't have work for you until the next project's ready in a year and a half. So you come back, artist comes back at this point, QA will come back at this point, developers will come back at this point. And so there's been a kind of shift in the industry to try to get these live service games to work. The problem is gamers don't want them because they don't end up being good. You can't have anything substantial happen in a live service game because it's never supposed to end. And we're seeing that with Suicide Squad and how the story played out, which was no surprise to anybody, where it's just yeah, this was never supposed to end. It was supposed to go on forever, just like Destiny. Nothing actually matters, and it just keeps rolling out content. So I kind of get it, but it's really what gamers are craving are those proper traditional, you beat the game, you're happy with the story, and then you're ready for the sequel 2 to 3 years down the line, maybe even 4 years down the line. So it's unfortunate.
No, definitely. No, I just, you see stuff like Fortnite, you see stuff like even PUBG, and I guess Rocksteady just went down that path. I don't think they've made any other live. I could be wrong on that.
No,
but
they I will double check, but I'm pretty sure Arkham Knight was their last game, and before that it was City, and then Asylum. But
they had a lot of time making this, but there were
how
some
long
other
ago
canceled games.
Sorry, how long ago was Arkham Knight? Because that feels like ancient history now.
2015 it came out, and it even got delayed. So Arkham, here, literally, this is everything they made. Urban Chaos Riot Response, which I played recently, and it's not bad. It's a cute little shooter on the PS2. It's nothing to write home about. It ain't no Halo. And then years later, they suddenly got the rights to Batman 2009, Arkham Asylum. Then they did Arkham City. That jump makes sense because Asylum to City, you're making, instead of a hospital facility, you're making a small contained city. Then they go to Arkham Knight, which is all of Gotham, so got delayed to 2015.
Yeah. Don't forget Arkham Origins. That's a very underrated game.
Well, that's the thing is, don't
Made
get
by
me
other
started on
studio.
other studio. They, in my opinion, people, I get hate for this take, but I don't like Arkham Origins, but it was literally made by Warner Brothers to pretty much tide people over for Arkham Knight. And so they knew it was getting delayed. And so that studio, Warner Brothers Montreal, was literally made to be we want to keep the hype train going for your next big game. Let's have a different studio, give them all the code, and they can make a prequel. And so that's kind of what happened there. So yeah, there was Arkham Origins in between City and Night, but Rocksteady had nothing to do with it. And then they did Arkham VR, which was actually pretty freaking good a year later in 2016. I recommend it to Arkham fans. And then 2016 until literally this week, we had nothing from them.
Damn. I'm pretty sure they did have a Batman-esque game where it was supposed to be. I'm not sure if it. I think it was Batman Beyond. What's his name? Terry something. Terry McGinnis.
Oh, Terry McGinnis. I saw that
And I'm
rumored.
pretty.
Was that ever confirmed?
There was concept art leaked for it, and there was kind of completely new designs of Poison Ivy, Black Mask, some other characters, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a motorcycle bat cycle you rode over the city, and apparently, Josh Keaton, the voice of Spectacular Spider-Man, was meant to play the Robin that would take over as Batman.
Interesting. This was going to be Warner Brother Games Montreal follow-up to Arkham Origins, but they went with Gotham Knight instead. Interesting. Interesting.
Gotham Knight, what a joke of a game! Like no one remembers it. I think.
Well, hey, what's worse now, this or Suicide Squad? At least Gotham Knight had they had the decency to be like, this isn't canon. Which a lot of people, I was talking with Kay recently. She didn't even know it wasn't canon, but they were like, it's not, even though it's the same style of game and everything, it's not actually canon to the Arkham series. That way we can do whatever they want. And that was kind of smart to do.
Literally, what threw me off is just like, yeah, I saw, yeah. What threw me off about that is like there was this like will and testament sent to Robin, sent to Red Hood, and kind of that Batman died and blah blah. And that's what you like got you questioning. Wait, is this after Arkham Knight? Because Bruce faked his death, and it's just like you keep thinking that okay, maybe this is connected to that, but no, he actually dies in the game.
It was very weird storytelling given what happened in Arkham Knight. And it was kind of like almost it reminded me of like when people were confused between the Wii and the Wii U. And it's like they're different systems. They're just so stupidly similar and have the exact same names, but they're different. And so that's what it felt like with Arkham Knight and then going to Gotham Knight. And it's like, no, it's not. For some reason, even though the exact same thing happens, it's not connected in the lore somehow.
Yeah. The thing is, just escaped my head.
It's all good. It's like 2 a.m. for you or something.
Yeah, it is. I lost my thought completely. No, the thing about it is, no, it's gone. It's completely
That's
gone.
fine. I never have thoughts. That's fine.
The thing about it, I think it was going to say something about it being live service, but I can't remember.
Oh, Gotham Knight? It was like almost live service. Yeah, it was it had very similar problems. It was also
Fortnite gliders as well. Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yeah. And it's very similar to Suicide Squad of just like it didn't have all the bells and whistles of a live service game that Suicide Squad had implemented, and I'm pretty sure they're now going to be scaling back, but it did have kind of that foundation there. So if it just happened to be a success, they could kind of roll out more content, more DLC, and keep that train going. But yeah, they didn't commit to it like Suicide Squad. Well, I wouldn't even say Suicide Squad committed to it, because you can see in the game how many different ideas are kind of co-mangled together in there and just making this mess. So if you just look at the UI for it, it's a total freaking confusing mess. But
yep, definitely.
Yeah.
It's I've been watching More is Good on stream. Let's get it on screen here.
Sure.
And talk about the game itself. Like, it seems to me like it's a kind of UI for people with ADHD. Absolutely chaotic everywhere.
Is that the screenshots that came out on Twitter like a couple weeks ago where
with the UI?
It looked like that meme from a few years ago where there's like several different game UIs plastered on it, an image.
Well, this is just a simple image here, right? Look at that. There's a radar, there's some buttons, there's subtitles, there's your ammo, there's blah, 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 blah. We've even got FPS and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, the fuck do you need these all stuff this for?
Very different departure from the Arkham games that have literally nothing. Like you have your Batman's health and that is it. So yeah, it's a radical change for them.
This is almost as bad as an MMO.
Yeah. And that's kind of what they wanted it to be, right? And so it makes sense. I did see someone on Twitter when the UI came out say, like, I haven't seen something this bad since I had to do max raids in World of Warcraft back in the day, and you'd have to install all those mods and everything. So your screen was just icons.
I just remembered
I know that
something.
feeling.
Do you guys remember when the Battle Pass image leaked for this game?
Yes.
Oh, good God, that was a shit show, and we were all so worried. Like, what the hell is this game going to? I'm not. It probably doesn't have a battle pass. I don't think it has any more.
Yeah, and that also is all just in this game's design of them constantly trying to steer this ship in a different direction based on the responses they've been seeing on Twitter. And so it did have a battle pass, but I was complaining on Twitter about the battle pass and saying, like, I would never give these people battle pass money. And then some person defending it was like, well, the battle pass is free. And I'm like, what? Since when? It was not free when it was first announced. And so it's so hard to track. And as a customer, that's super sketchy because I don't know what value I'm getting for my money. It's like, am I supposed to buy a battle pass? Am I not? Like, am I going to be charged for something that is like revoked later? Like, I wouldn't have faith. Like, if I ignore all the like ridiculous shit with the story and everything, just like based on the gameplay, I wouldn't have faith in giving my money to this game because I feel like this could end up in a scam scenario. I feel like it's going to be dropped in a year. So yeah, it's just a mess. It's a mess throughout the entire development cycle, and it's amazing to me that there's people defending it.
You mentioned something about the DLC that it's gonna struggle with putting it out. Could you tell us more about that?
Well, that's more of a theory just based on like kind of the way this game is developed. And so because it was developed as like a pseudo live service game or like a Destiny style game, you had a scenario where internally they were planning on rolling out DLC. I have complete confidence that this game was not supposed to just be out and you beat the campaign, credits roll, and that's it. It was going to be like a Destiny or a Warframe where new DLC comes out, you drop your weapons, and then you get better weapons, you get better armor, then you get a new story, and then you get a new story. And I mean, I for the record, I will say spoiler alert, but nobody cares about spoilers this game. I usually try to be
people in my Twitter feed. Nobody cares.
I know. I try to be respectful for spoilers, even if it's a game I don't care about. But like everyone's just been like, this is awful. Nobody cares. But yeah, so with the end of the game, they're like, that was only one Brainiac. There's 11 billion more. And it's like, welcome to the multiverse, baby. And so it's just like it's so clear that it wasn't supposed to end here, just like Avengers wasn't supposed to end where it did, and now that's done. And so I definitely think what they're seeing now is that they've been having internal meetings probably for months on like, this isn't going to be as successful. And this is all just my own theories based on how game development goes nowadays. This isn't going to be as successful as we planned it to be. We're going to be lucky probably if we break even. So we can't support a long-term development team. So I don't even know if they are going to do DLC. Maybe they might do a more traditional route of DLC.
They already announced like a roadmap.
They have. Okay. Yeah, I haven't even seen the roadmap.
Joker is releasing first. I'm pretty sure, like, new characters that you can play as. So Joker is coming out first, but from a different multiverse for some reason. Because you can't have the Joker. You have to have the Joker in a DC game. Of course, you have to have him in there somewhere. There's Mr. Freeze's daughter or something like that.
What?
Something like that. There's Deadshot's kid as well.
Oh God!
And then there's also Deathstroke. Okay. 1 out of 5, let's say, of those characters that I'm like, okay, Deathstroke should be there because in the Arkham Origins post-credit scene, he was teased to be in the Suicide Squad in the first place. But yeah, those are the basic romance that you get new characters to play as.
If that's what they stick to, I mean, the game is dead in the water. Like, none of those are characters that anyone cares about. Like, if you're going to try to salvage this and you're going to bring in new characters, like, you have to pull like popular villains like from the Rogues Gallery. So it's a Suicide Squad. You can bring in like Clayface would be cool, just off the top of my head. Bane as an alternative to the Shark guy would be great as like the Muscle Man. But Where are those? I don't think anyone wants to play Deadshot's daughter when it's not even the Arkham Deadshot in the first place. So yeah,
definitely.
It's a really weird way of doing things. Let's see. Do I want to play as Mr. Freeze or Mr. Freeze's daughter? It's like, well, one of these characters I'm familiar with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that is rough, and I wouldn't even be surprised if they canceled it. Again, this is like Avengers. Avengers was like, we have Spider-Man coming out, and that was a big deal, and then after that, everything kind of petered away. So I would definitely advise, if I don't even know if things cost money. I'm seeing in chat that it might not cost money anymore. So if things cost money for that post game DLC, I would definitely advise caution from a customer standpoint.
They are meant to be free, but it's just like, because you see, they're trying to kind of merge the story and the mechanics of a live service game together. So they're using the multiverse shit and the live service aspects together just to kind of explain it away. I'd just not bother with that at all. Just not bother with that at all, because there's gonna be multiverse reduces stakes dramatically. We have this character die. Well, we have a different version of him in here. Now, there were some leaks that I know because I covered them on this channel, of a 4chan leak of the story, that they were originally going to resurrect the Flash with the Lazarus Pit, because for some reason there was a Lazarus Pit in Metropolis, and they were going to do the Flashpoint and undo everything. And stop Brainiac from coming. And it's just, after seeing this gameplay, I don't think they're using time travel with Flashpoint. I could be wrong, but I reckon they'll just have maybe a different Batman from the multiverse and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's something. I know you saw my tweet on it. I wrote this like 2-hour-long tweet on the ending, and I definitely wanted to talk with you about that. And that's the thank you Kevin Conroy message that's tacked on to the end of the game. And I remember those 4chan leaks, and I remember the whole thing, and that's absolutely what the original plan was. You're not going to keep the Justice League dead, especially in this like ongoing game. You're going to resurrect them, or at least have a multiverse version of them. But like the 4chan leaks totally made sense. Like, have the Flash bring everybody back. But now with Batman, or Kevin Conroy sadly passing away, it's I definitely feel that internally they probably had a meeting of, fuck, now what do we do? And the thing is, they've already written all the lines. They already have the whole story and everything. The game, but because it was delayed so much, the game's effectively done. They were doing a lot of polish, and they were doing a lot of like getting it to work, optimization, just so it'd properly run. So they can't really change what they've already done. They can't delay it again, because that would just be suicide after delaying it. No pun intended. After delaying it like 2, 3, 4 times. And so what do we do? And so I was theorizing that it's like, oh, maybe they probably had internal meetings about, we could pull a Destiny and say, thank you, Kevin, and we'll have Roger Craig Smith voice Batman. And Roger Craig Smith, I'm getting the name right, I believe. He was the voice of young Bruce in Arkham Origins. Yeah, he was fine. I was mad at the time because the reasoning for it was Kevin Conroy was old. I shit you not. And I was like, fuck you. He can be Batman forever. I watched, what was it? Gotham, the anime. He did an anime version where Batman or Bruce Wayne looked like a 17-year-old anime boy, and it was still Kevin Conroy. I didn't care. But yeah, Roger Craig Smith was fine. That's not the actor's fault, just because the developers were like, Kevin Conroy's old. So it's like, you could have done that. You could have done the Destiny scenario where we have Zavala get voiced now by Keith David and was respectful to Lance Reddick. So you could have done that. I felt like that may have been okay, but then they still, like, this is the problem with this style of game here, is you're writing a game that's intentionally insufferable and so nihilistic and so spit in the face and so screw you to the fans that it's so hard to recover from this in their face. So even if you did that, then you'd have people being like, oh, you killed Kevin Conroy in his final performance, and now you're just going to replace him with a new younger guy. And so it's like, there was no winning in this scenario. So they probably felt that keeping Batman dead was the right way to go, but there's no right way to go after you buried yourself this deep.
It's weird. I think when I first heard it, I thought the Flashpoint was bullshit, but it's just kind of necessary though, actually, because after Arkham Knight, Bruce Wayne's identity is revealed. You have to have his identity a secret because I think that causes all sorts of problems for future games, especially future Batman games.
Yes.
And I guess first I was like kind of like pissed. Oh, of course they're going to use the Flash to undo everything. But then I was just like, if you're going to go that crazy, killing Justice League, you need to undo it. This cannot possibly stay like this. But yeah, going back to what I said about this multiverse thing, I think they went intentionally like completely crazy, completely disrespectful, because they knew that they had like kind of a chance, like a quick fire to undo it. And watching some of these cutscenes, I do get that impression. I'm just like, what were you thinking making this? And it's just like, maybe it's because they have like a standby undo button next to them. But let me show you this.
And watching your clips, like you totally know, and with the sweet baby writing and all of it, like, oh my god, every line is a freaking joke in this game. Every single line is a joke. Nothing is taken seriously. You just know that once the Justice League was resurrected, you have so many Joss Whedon style quips ready to go, like the Flash being like, why do I smell like pee after he's like resurrected or something, like, you know, they would have done all of that. You know, they would have done all of that. And like Wonder Woman would have readjusted her jaw and been like, I've been through worse. And then someone would have been like, you just died. And it would have been that. It would have been that. But now with Kevin Conroy sadly passing away, they got themselves into a coincidence, a rock and a hard place. And then they're like, what do we do now? Do we resurrect all the Justice League except him? And I actually don't know if they do any of it by the end of the game. I don't think they do, but yeah.
Okay, so this is, I'm going to go into like one of the multiverse examples. I'm going to show you this clip and then I'm going to show you another one. This is obviously the introduction of Lex Luthor in the Arkham world. I'm going to keep saying that, by the way, the Arkham world.
Right.
Because this thing it's just like seeing a circular shaped peg into a square shaped hole. It really just doesn't fit in the rest of the world. Stands out kind of like a sore thumb. So no, we were teased in Arkham Knight with Lex, him buying and blah 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 blah. I was very much so looking forward to finally seeing him. He's voiced by the Hitman actor.
Oh.
I think it's the recent games, recent Hitman games. That's what I've been told by one of the people commenting on my YouTube shorts that I've made of this. So yeah, let's just watch this for a minute. Let me know if you guys.
I expected that to catch one of you at most.
Lex, we've been known to exceed expectations.
Tell Waller to stay out of my way. If you'll excuse me, my plan to neutralize the Justice League starts now. I'm going to enjoy this.
And then, bam. He's snatched.
Nice one, Lex.
And then, after a quick little boss fight, you know, with the Flash, a little, you know, scuffle. Nothing too serious.
Your inventions were a bit shit. This.
And he's dead. Flash just ripped his heart out.
Would you look at that? He did have a heart. Catch. Oh, yuck.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Okay, so the number one question is, why not do that to Harley? Why not do that to Deadshot? Why not do that to... What does this bloody say about Flash's powers? Like,
I mean, that's the thing about speedsters is they're insanely powerful just due to how fast they can move, and like, I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like these characters could take them on.
No.
You see that through the game. So I've been watching a lot of the game, and you see this with every single member of the evil Justice League now, where they're toying with these 4 characters. And again, that's another problem I have with Suicide Squad is like they're all pretty average people, I would say, with the exception of Deadshot probably. But even Deadshot, it's like you need to have a gun, and sometimes he's, you know, in his like prison garb without a gun. But like Green Lantern toying with them. There's a part in the opening of the game where Green Lantern takes them on a tour to show them what they're doing and being like,
Let me
yeah,
explain
here we're
to you my evil plans. Yeah.
and he does that, and it's like, it's long. I just watched the cutscene part, and it's fucking long. Green Lantern literally carries them through a tour of the city, being like, here we are. We're going to be turning all the human people into Brainiac's monsters, and then all the people that don't conform, we're going to kill. And it's like, why aren't you just doing that to them? And then, yeah, you have the Flash that can go zip, zip, zip and kill everybody. And usually you have to have a very powerful villain to prevent the Flash. But when the Flash is the villain, that's the thing that makes these characters heroes, is that they're good people. They have these OP powers, but they're good people. It's not about their powers. It's about who they are. That's the thing that I've always loved about DC Comics. It's just like people will be like, oh, Superman's so OP. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about Superman's powers. It's about what he stands for. And what
corrupts them. You know, he could do terrible things with these powers, but chooses to do good.
But he chooses not to. And so it's like, okay, so now you have a scenario where these insanely overpowered superheroes are evil and they're brainwashed. They should be just gone. Everything's gone. But no, the protagonists that have like barely a pistol to defend themselves are carried around a tra-la-la-la-la mission while everyone else is just getting massacred. It makes no logical sense. But these writers, the sweet baby writers, don't actually like comics. They don't actually like comics or read anything. That's why they've had self-inserts throughout this game. I don't know if you want to talk about the Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy pedophilic relationship in the game.
Not
but
really,
it's like,
no.
Okay. But that wasn't a thing. That wasn't a thing in the Arkhamverse. That wasn't
Do
a
they ever
thing.
No, I don't think they ever explain it why she's a kid. They don't. Was that just a choice? Like just
that's
the
about
preference?
that's where I stopped, and I have a theory on it if you want to get into it. I have a theory on why they made Poison Ivy a kid. Here's the thing about these writers. So I don't want to put 100% on the blame on
Greta
Sweet
Thunberg lookalike.
Literally, but I think that's why.
Really?
So I don't want to put 100% of the blame on Sweet Baby. This is also on Rocksteady, because if you look at Rocksteady's Twitter, they are just as political as Sweet Baby. It's a match made in hell. So they 100% are just team Sweet Baby. This isn't ignorance. This is very intentional. When the Poison Ivy stuff happens, she is a kid and everything all of a sudden, even though, spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure she dies in Arkham Knight. Lex Luthor resurrects her for some reason. I didn't get this far into the story. I don't know the reason why. Yeah, okay.
Against Brainiac troops for some reason.
And brings her back
toxins
as a
are
little
effective against
kid.
everything, apparently, you know?
Right, but here's the thing. The writers of this game are very much those kind of people, and you all know the people I'm talking about, that say Batman is actually the villain because he is rich white billionaire, and Poison Ivy is actually the hero. Unironically, because man-hating environmental extremists, and she does no wrong. I see these people grow as quote-unquote comic fans, but they're not fans all the fucking time, where they think Poison Ivy is actually the good guy. That's what I see it as. So they made Poison Ivy as a child to make her agenda more appealing in the eyes of the writer, because in her dialogue in the game, she's cute and quirky in their brains. She's very much like, I'm going to stop the evil bad guys that are hurting my plans. And it's just like, okay, so you're doing that agenda of like, let's have a child push it. And so I think it was very intentional to make Poison Ivy a child figure for their self-insert, for their politics.
What's even worse is they never established a relationship between Poison Ivy and Harley in the Arkham world. Yeah, that's why I said, like, this is a puzzle piece that does not fit into the Arkham world at all, because something that's just like, you made that lesbian relationship up. Like, you have not established that whatsoever beforehand. Like, bloody do your homework to know what happened in previous games. I mean, if you
know
really wanted it, you could establish in here if she maybe wasn't a kid, but you haven't established it in other games. It's just like,
here's the line that got to me in the game about this stuff. So you already have the weird P word relationship between Ivy
Matt.
now and Harley. And one, it's it was not in the previous games. There was no time for them to establish that relationship, but the writers just know vaguely of that relationship and they just want to have that checkbox off. So they insert it. But there's literally a line where Harley Quinn says, hold on, I wrote it down because I was like, are you kidding me? She says, she's my little girl. That came out weird. And it's like, oh, okay. So this is weird. This is weird as well.
Yeah,
so why are
she
you
says
doing
something
it?
about wanting to
Squish her
green
cheeks.
cheeks. Yeah.
And they make it very clear. It's not like we're not reading too much into it. They make it very clear that it's like they had some sort of relationship now, just like we swapped Deadshot's race. They now are retconning this.
Harley
and
keeps
then they
trying
know
to do it with Wonder Woman as well.
Oh, really? I didn't even get to that part. Wow.
Keeps making moves on Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman is just like, be gone.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Yeah, I watched Mola play this, so.
Oh, okay.
Every time she's there, she's just like awkwardly trying to, I'm pretty sure she at one moment Wonder Woman steps on Boomerang, and ties him up with the lasso of truth. And then Harley, you should step on me as well. Something like that.
Did you see the sexual assault scene from Harley Quinn? I can link it to you if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw this. I didn't even get to this part in what I was watching. But apparently sexual assault is funny when women do it now. And it's to the point where this is so rough that even I saw people that we tend to I linked the wrong one. Sorry about that. Sorry, I did link the wrong one. That was something else. I have so many notes on this game. There we go. That was the other one. It's at the point where even the people that we tend to disagree with are starting to point out issues with this game and being like, we don't even agree with that. So it's pretty much, there's a scene. I linked the proper one right now. Sorry about that. This is it. Yeah, and so everyone's frozen, and Harley Quinn decides to do this here.
Oh, this is right before the Lex Luthor scene that I just showed. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is like how they get trapped, and they're kind of frozen.
Mm-hmm.
And Lex Luthor kind of like, I was expecting just one of you to fall for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not touch us.
But you saying I can't really makes me want to,
Harley is just like always right, always in the right. She is not a flawed character whatsoever.
Worth it.
Yeah, and then there's Lex Luthor there. Yeah.
And if you look at the comments, these are people that are probably the people that don't agree with maybe, our side of things, but they're even like, why did you include that? So they're literally the people that they're appealing to don't even like this anymore. So who are your fans? Who's left?
This has been my entire notifications, by the way. It's just like, but they're villains. They're supposed to do stuff like that. Like, fuck off.
Yes.
Seriously.
Okay. So here's the thing: is they're villains, but they are also the protagonists. Therefore, they should be likable to the player. We're playing a video game here. When you play a video game, it's different from a film. You are becoming that character in a way. If you make insufferable protagonists in a game, it's a very unlikable, unplayable game. That's what people don't get. So whether you agree with
the characters in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, they murdered a bunch of innocent people, but I still liked them.
They made the characters likable in James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie. Genuinely, you really like the characters for the most part. Except for Harley, she's still fucking annoying.
Yeah. I wonder why that is. But we kind of got off topic because I wanted to share this little scene. So we just saw Lex Luthor being just ripped his heart out. He's dead. After like 15 minutes or so. That's the introduction of Lex Luthor in the Arkham world, a character who's incredibly intelligent. I'm sure Brainiac would find a use for him. If he found a use for Batman, he'd probably find a use for Lex and his tech.
Yeah,
it
comes across as like being disrespectful just for the sake of it.
Yeah, I call it anti-plot armor, where you really, really need to kill off a character and you just kind of Flash rips us out, you know? Even if it doesn't make sense, we can't really need this character dead, you know? Kind of thing, just for the sake of the story. You know, it doesn't matter if it feels natural. We have to kill this character. And plot armor would be the reverse, of course. But yeah, then we get this scene that establishes the multiverse.
3 years, scrabbling in the dirt of a dying world, working with scraps to finesse my escape plan. And you've jeopardized everything in 3 minutes!
This is Luther. His sense is the same. Mostly.
We need to leave. No. Hold up. Stop. What the hell is going on here? Where are we? How are you alive? What happened to Metropolis?
Is it a parallel universe?
Yes, this is a parallel universe. To you, it would be an Earth 2. Yes, this is a parallel universe. No! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring!
Yeah, well, as said, I'm bored of multiverses. I don't know about you guys, but I'm bored.
Yeah, it takes all the stakes away for sure. The weird thing is that they tried to have their cake and eat it too. So if you're gonna do a multiverse, fine, you can do that. I actually like the Injustice games, even though they don't really have a lot of power to them, weight to them, because they're a multiverse story. They try to add a little bit of weight by having, our Justice League go over to that multiverse. So then it's just like, okay, all the other characters are going to be the ones that fucking die. Our guys are probably safe. But it was good. It was fine. It was good for what it was. But then if you're going to do a multiverse thing, why have to tie it to the Arkham universe? Why do you have to ruin that? So you would have had a lot less complaints if you did this kill the Justice League thing, if you just said, this isn't the Kevin Conroy Batman from Asylum and City and Night. This is a parallel universe. That one over there is fine, living with Alfred and eating cold soup or whatever. But yeah, it's such a weird decision, and it's because of the live service element. Because if you have a multiverse scenario, then the game can go on forever and ever and ever and ever. And that's all you can play.
You're definitely right. And it's just like I mentioned in the tweet here, like they needed to justify future content for their live service game, so they just used the multiverse. And we went from fighting in asylums to freaking Lex Luthors and Earth 2s and 13 Brainiacs.
Yeah.
That seems like an incredibly massive jump. Like, say what you will about the Arkham games, but they kind of were somewhat grounded. Maybe some mystical elements with League of Shadows or whatever, but it's mainly believable. And now you've got these multiverses, and that multiverses need a lot of work to set up. And all I see in this game, it's just a crutch for the live service element, right? It's not. I don't think they wanted to ever introduce a multiverse naturally. It kind of feels like a kind of artificial just because it's a live service game.
Right. And it's a scenario of, I think you mentioned this earlier, they're spinning too many plates here. So you need to have it a live service game. Okay, so live service game, so we have to do it multiverse so it never ends. But we want the game to matter. Okay, so we're going to tie it to our Arkham games that everybody loved. Okay, but then you also have to have it have a punch and be edgy and to get sales. Okay, we're going to kill the Justice League. So you're going to have a multiverse where nothing matters, but then you're also going to kill the Batman that everybody loves from the more grounded games. Because those Arkham games, like you said, they are a more grounded reality. This is why a lot of people appeal to Batman over, the other DC characters. Like Merlin's literally a DC character. It's because Batman he can be portrayed as very real. When you bring Batman into the Justice League, I do like those stories a lot, but they tend to be, wacky and crazy because Batman has to keep up with the tech of his, superheroes. But that's fine. You could have done that. You didn't have to connect it to Arkham, but then you also wanted to bring in all the other Arkham fans. So when you spin too many plates, everything kind of crashes. And that's what we're seeing here.
Yep, definitely. Let's share one of the more viral, I suppose, clips that I have.
3.4
just
million.
yeah, that's just crazy to think about, I suppose. But no, they in this scene here, I guess my excuse is some of these clips, the text doesn't quite make sense. But my justification is, hey, I was up till 6 a.m. editing these damn clips, just waiting for like, okay, when's the Brainiac death going to drop? Because I'm getting tired over here. But they kind of he doesn't really do it, but they did pull out his penis to piss on the Flash, and that's just what the hell. Anyway, let's watch it first, and then let's analyze it. Let me know about the audio.
And so the Flash has expired. He saved our lives, yet we ended his. As honorable warriors, we will show proper respect to this fallen hero by...
Show a little class, man. That... Holy shit. Congratulations.
Was that really necessary?
No, it wasn't. What do I need to say about this? I don't think I need to say... To be honest, I could have just crossed off all this. Just like... They wanted to piss on Cret, and that's all I needed to put. I think the footage speaks for itself.
Yeah.
This Flash saved the Suicide Squad's asses multiple times throughout the beginning of the story. I'm pretty sure Flash like barely deflected a bullet from reaching Harley's brain because Batman shot her. I mean, that's understandable. Who wouldn't shoot Harley in the head?
Yeah, no, I feel like putting blame on him for that one.
Batman wasn't even corrupted at that point. He was just sick of her shit. No, dude, it's like
he was just correct.
Yeah. I mean, because I guess when I was writing this, I was thinking, oh, people are probably gonna say again that it's in character for Boomerang to do and blah blah. And I was just trying to like argue ahead of time, like just because he's a villain and it's in character doesn't mean that you should do this. Like, why is he pulling out his penis? Like, and you're making penis jokes around the Flash that saved your bloody lives. And this is his debut in the Arkham world. The Flash, the fastest man alive, one of the most popular DC characters there is.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? It's not even in character. It's these people's writing where they just hate these characters so much and I just want to see them desecrated. Before going on this stream, I told my lovely Discord that I was going to be hanging out with you, and they sent me something. They sent me a Silver Age comic where the Flash dies and Captain Boomerang is with oh god, what was his name? I'm less familiar with the Flash. It was a Trickster. I remember it was played by Mark Hamill once. They come across the Flash's corpse, and they're kind of like sad and in shock almost. It's like bittersweet. They didn't be the one to kill him, and it's like there's a part where Trickster's like, I got to see who he is, and Boomerang stops him, and he's like, how disrespectful are you? Like, he's dead now. Like, what good is his identity gonna do? He's gone, and it's just like, wow. 2 frames from a Silver Age comic is more powerful than an entire game. Like, these are your villains, but they still had respect for you and they still went toe to toe with you. So there was a mutual understanding. And there's like in those 2 panels, that's more interesting than anything from this game. You fast forward to this writing, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to piss all over him. Isn't this funny? Isn't this the best? And we're all over here being like, this is fucking disgusting. Like, what's wrong with you? This says more about you, the writer. Like, what?
Let me put it this way. I don't really read comics. That scene you just described for that comic makes me want to go and read that comic to see like what the full context is, because that sounds like not just a really good moment, but it sounds like it's from a good story. Whereas I see this clip and I'm just disgusted.
Yeah, it was the Flash I'm trying Flash 209 from the Silver Age. So if you want to read it, there it is. And yeah, it's just that's how far we've fallen with this writing. And we were saying in the pre-show, we were talking because you want to get into comics, right? Cree. And so I was like, nope, comics were the first to fall because a lot of these writers that are writing this style, comics are kind of a good stepping stone for you to become a writer. There's a lot of writers. I used to want to be a writer. There's a lot of writers that start in comic books and then they kind of work their way elsewhere. So comics, in my opinion, were the first to go, man. They were the first thing that got affected by this stuff. I remember in 2009, 2010, lifelong comic reader, and I was done. I was 100% done.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move to the other degrading depths of the Justice League. Degrading is, I think, the perfect term. Degrading. Absolutely degrading. So just here's Green Lantern, Jon Stewart. Interesting choice to choose Jon Stewart, but I don't think he acts much. I know he's evil, but Jon Stewart always kind of struck me as like a disciplined soldier type. He is not disciplined at all. He's just kind of like a jokester, almost kind of like Flash as well, kind of rough around the edges. I don't see a military guy in him whatsoever. By the way, this kind of joke, a result of black on black crime. I got a little flag. I think that's where the Yahtzee lists are coming from. Like, I thought it was a good joke. Like, you guys blame me? Like, come on.
They
were talking to each other like gangsters, all right? And I as like a very white guy, I suppose I was just like, why are they talking like this? Jeez. Like,
do you think that's why they race swapped Deadshot? Is they didn't want the white French Deadshot to take on the black Green Lantern, so they just swapped both of them over. I mean, Jon Stewart's an actual good Green Lantern. He's like, that's the thing that's cool about Green Lanterns is there's a billion of them. But yeah, maybe that's why.
That might actually be it, because they probably want to avoid claims of racism if white Deadshot were to kill black Green Lantern.
Why?
That actually does make sense.
That'd be even worse. Right? Yeah.
And I want to quickly point out here, I keep derailing everything. I'm sorry, but they actively hate you. They actively hate you because in the opening of the game, there's a line where Boomerang goes to Deadshot and he says, "Aren't you white?" And it's literally that point I was like, oh yeah, no, they absolutely hate you. Don't give people money when they hate you, because that was a complaint. That was one of the first complaints about Suicide Squad was you've already made Deadshot white in this universe. Now you're going to race swap him to black. How does that make sense? And so they took all that backlash and they decided to just mock you with it in the opening of the freaking game. So
kind of like Spider-Man 2 with Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hate them so much.
Kind of like, oh, he isn't Spider-Man? Well, he will make him Spider-Man even harder. You know, that kind of attitude.
Exactly.
And yeah, the thing about this, like, it's just all over the place, really. Anyway, let's play this little clip, shall we? Oh, what I was going to say, what to your point, James, was I've been watching Mola play this game for 5 hours.
Jesus.
I have not seen a single damn explanation as to why he's suddenly black. I'm guessing it's multiverse bullshit.
I was looking for it, yeah, and so I might be wrong, but in the very opening of the game, and the opening of the game, I was trying so hard to find something good, something to like about this game, and I got 2 points. Literally, there was 2 brief little things I liked about this game because I want to focus on positives in gaming, but no, I can't with these people. So the opening of the game is an homage to Arkham Asylum, and I'm like, that's cool, that's cute, but it's just there to remind you of what the past was and that it will never go back to it. And so it was like, it just made me sad. Like when I was watching, I just got sadder and sadder because it's like the little things that are good are just reminders of what once was. So anyway, in the opening of the game, they introduced the characters. The movie, sorry, I want to say movie because the cutscenes are very movie-like, which is also annoying. But in the opening segments, when they're introducing everybody, they show new Deadshot in his cell. and he's looking at newspaper clippings, and some of them say things like 2 dead shots, another dead shot, and it's that kind of thing. So it's just like, oh, they're doing a thing of like there's more than one of them. The other one was the fake dead shot or something, maybe. But I could be wrong. But yeah, that's really all I saw was literally background newspapers for a brief second saying there's 2 dead shots. So that's it. That's it.
Definitely.
What's up, Lantern? You still feeling fresh and relaxed? Yeah, that's what I thought. Not so easy in a fair fight, is it?
A fair fight? Y'all look pathetic.
It bothers me that these are 2 different color dice.
Too dumb to know when they're punching above their weight. You're just gonna go from Waller's prison to Brainiac's.
Nah. Didn't you hear? We're out on good behavior.
I'm tired, boss.
And just he just dies like that, just shot in the face like any old like guy in the streets. The thing is like I just found that so unceremonious as all hell. I'm like, what? That's it? He's dead? But hang on, wait a minute. There's more. There's also this little image that.
Okay, I thought this was a meme. This is real?
No, this is real.
What the? Why?
King Shark tries to take off his ring and takes his finger, as you can see in that image, and yeah, it's just in his underwear.
And of course, these writers.
There's a reason why I chose this as a thumbnail, because I think, visually wise, I think it summarizes this game perfectly. You know, that's all this game is. It's a giant joke.
These writers wanted the boys. They wanted to just take your heroes and spit in their freaking faces. But the thing is, these aren't the boy heroes, even though to me, Homelander is the hero. Homelander did nothing wrong. But these aren't those characters, and you're just spitting in the face of beloved characters that people have grown up with and idolized and everything. And it'd be one thing if you killed him and all that stuff, but yeah, just like you're literally parading around his fucking corpse like he's like the enemy, and you're shoving it in the face of the people that love these characters. It's like, yeah, I can't think of anything more disrespectful.
Yeah, as proven by recent Echo show, being shot to death doesn't always lead to death, even if the victim received a gunshot to the eye.
Oh my god!
I see what you did there, Admiral. Yes, I did review. I had the pleasure of reviewing Echo. It's on the channel. Check it out later. And yeah, Kingpin was shot in the eye. It's never explained how he survived. Again, that would be an example of anti-plot armor. We need this character to stay alive, so we kind of have to circumvent this completely lethal scenario. I don't think Green Lantern's getting up from this, to be honest. But they don't understand how Green Lantern rings work, by the way. When a Green Lantern dies, the ring goes, I think, back to Oa, or chooses another person to wear it.
Yep, 100%.
It just stays on his ring, ready to be stolen by anyone nearby. And apparently, King Shark can just put it on and use Green Lantern. Amazing. I'm pretty sure the ring has to go to you, has to choose you. I'm not sure anyone can just wear it. I'm not
Green
sure.
Lantern lore has always been super underrated, in my opinion. It's super freaking cool. It's just like, imagine RoboCop in space, and there's a billion of them. It's the coolest shit ever. It could rival Star Wars if they did it right. But yeah, no, that you're 100% right. That's how it's supposed to be, is the ring chooses you, and it's based on who you are. And so Green Lanterns represent will, so willpower. And so King Shark shouldn't get a Green Lantern ring. I think it was it Aiden Paladin? I'm trying to remember who said this on Twitter, but someone was like, he would get a Red Lantern ring, which it wouldn't even make sense at this point in time to give him a Red Lantern ring, but red represents rage. Batman has gotten the Green Lantern ring before. I think Batman's also gotten the Fear Sinestro Corp ring before, because again,
there's a specific skin for it in Arkham City.
That's right. And so those make sense. But like, yeah, it immediately, literally immediately flies away as soon as the user is dead and goes back to OA or goes and finds the appropriate person. It doesn't stay on you. And you also wouldn't have Green Lantern boxers. What the hell are wrong with these people?
Yep.
So I'm having a bit of a thought based on what you said before. You said the game has some references to the Arkham games, like parts of it that people are going to fondly remember, right?
Yeah, it intentionally does theming and a lot of audio cues and a lot of audio callbacks and kind of visual cues to remind you that this is an Arkham
Especially in the
game.
Batman stuff.
So
Yes.
I wonder if this is kind of like conspiracy thinking. If I am going down that road, let me know. But like, maybe that's the point, because it's kind of like shoving in your face that here's the thing you love being ruined. Like, because that's kind of, it got me thinking of what they did to Star Wars, where it's like, hey, here's Han Solo, this character, he's dead. Hey, here's Luke, this character you love, he's dead.
This is very Last Jedi, and you're 100% on the money with that. You're 110% on the money. That's what I said on my tweet. I was like, well, what are they going to do at this point? They tried to do a thank you, Kevin, goodbye at the end of it.
As we play his death.
Yeah, but what are they going to do? Make him fly away like Mary Poppins in space or something? It feels like it's not that far-fetched given the writing of this game.
Yeah, it feels like the intent is to demoralize the audience.
Mm-hmm. I have been nothing but demoralized, and people are trying to demoralize me for posting these stupid clips, and it's just like, get over yourselves. This game is bloody shit. Anyone with a half a brain can tell. Like, stop trying to gaslight me. Stop trying to lie to me. This is a bad product. Fair and simple, all right? That's your problem that you don't see it, not mine. All right? It's just... And this is the clip that started it all. I nearly didn't make this clip, but as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to make something. So I think we're going in chronologically of the Justice League deaths. Yes, so this is... I think Batman is third, then it's Batman, then... I don't know when Wonder Woman takes place. I don't know exactly when her death takes place. That's tricky to tell. But I know it's Batman and then Superman. But yeah, this is a respectable send-off to Batman Arkham in general, I suppose. Not just Batman himself. Let's have a look see here.
This hologram's activation means that I, probably the entire Justice League, have gone rogue.
Here's the part where he's got a plan.
Battle protocols are active.
Well, that's interesting.
So yeah, those battle protocols, I just instantly found that interesting. Okay. Because this was the first few cutscenes that we come across. I think some kind of YouTuber uploaded kind of the Batman death, like immediately after. But we didn't have any kind of context for it.
Yep.
It was like the first clips that launched. Mr. Bug was the first to post the Batman death scene. That video has the triple views of this little tweet here. Like the dudes smashed it just immediately, right on the money. He stayed up late at night just to upload that clip. So yeah, that tweet of his exploded and people are reacting to it. Be sure to follow him on Twitter at BuggyCon on Twitter. But no, this Babel plan, I was just like instantly, okay, just Suicide Squad could definitely use this to their advantage. But at this point in the game, they've killed the Flash and Green Lantern, so Boomerang kind of just skips it. But the thing is, I would still like to hear it. You know, all of the message. This is equivalent to Bruce's will. You know, because he knows that if the Justice League goes rogue, it's bloody end of the world, and it is. But anyway, let's listen on.
I've been secretly developing countermeasures to nullify the rest of the League. Interestingly, I found that...
fuck off.
Robin was here. I do not think he won.
That's all we get of Robin, by the way. Just a little blood and a mask.
Jesus.
That's got Robin. Talk about cutting out the middleman.
What? What the fuck?
You had a good run, Bruce.
It's just
The
rest of
whole
the Bat family?
the whole game is written this way. It's all insufferable dialogue. None of your characters you love can be treated seriously anymore. It's all just constant spitting in the face. And this is so antithetical to what the Arkham trilogy was. Like the Arkham trilogy, it was really only Joker making jokes, obviously. It was very deep. It was very like, it was a lot of good character stuff in there. There wasn't like this constant like everything has to be a joke and silly. This is all just a new writing team, and you totally see why so many people left during this game's development over at Rocksteady, and I don't blame them. This is just gross.
No, and in that message, like literally, Batman was like spilling out his heart. I now understand the value of family. I'm sorry that I treated you like shit, Robin. I'm sorry I treated you like shit, Tim and Oracle. Now I know the importance of a team. And just like he went through a little character arc between Arkham Knight and having this Justice League. I want to see what's between that. How he met the Justice League and blah, blah, blah. That sounds infinitely more interesting than whatever the fuck this game is doing.
See, True Pop, that would take actually understanding these characters and actually like having talent or work ethic. We just want quips. We just want really lame quips, and we want to say fuck you. Are you a fan of this? Go fuck yourself. That's it. No, I don't want to have to write how Batman somehow got in the Justice League after the events of Arkham Knight, even though we haven't seen any of the other superheroes up until this point. No. Let's just get to more cringy dialogue. Let's get to more of that. That's the good stuff. Ain't that the good stuff? Aren't you all happy? Also, if you're not happy, we don't care. We hate you. That's this game.
Yep.
It's so bad.
Literally, man, children crying over a terrible game.
Oh, who, me? Yes, that describes me in a nutshell. Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party. Anyway, let's play the rest of this.
A good run, Brucey. Flying around Gotham, punching bad guys, clean up the streets. It's our turn now.
That's the line that really bothers me.
And you notice that's the one line she says is serious.
Yeah. It's our turn now.
Yeah, it's only
that
when
is
the writers
just Sweet Baby
their
ink
own
written
thing.
all over it. That is just like, you want to replace Batman. Please. Bitch, please.
Yeah,
Never in your dreams.
These are the only things that they take seriously are their self-inserts. So you have the baby Poison Ivy character. You have this. Of course, you're not going to have them spitting on any of the pride flags or anything they sprinkle out through the game either. I saw one tweet that was really funny how Brainiac destroyed Metropolis. However, all the trans and pride flags are perfectly intact and squeaky clean. And it's like,
in the whole
that's
of
weird.
Justice, a fully intact pride flag. And
yeah,
not even like the newer pride flag that people made memes about that it's so complicated. It's like got a circle and triangle in it, and it's just like, wait, I thought that map was a joke. Even Mola reacted with the same, like, hang on, I thought this was the meme pride flag with like the circle and triangle in it. What the hell are we doing? What does the official pride flag look right now?
Yeah,
nobody
I think all of us have been shot. Like, I literally thought the Green Lantern underpants thing was a freaking joke. So like we knew how low the bar would be, and we're somehow still let down. Like, it's incredible.
Yep. And I just put clown music.
Don't give them ideas, True Pop. They'll add it.
It was all like somber music, and Harley and the blood spire. Oh, it's so edgy, so artistic. Mademoiselle, this is perfection of executing this beautiful art piece. Look at that body on a park bench. It's just a body now. It's just a useless body now. That's all it is. It's just like, I have deconstructed this character successfully. Fuck you. Fuck you. Just shit on a legacy you have not built. Now, this little reply I got to the stream, I want to give credit to this person. Never forget. It by the name of IFW Fade. This is the bitch that killed Bruce Wayne, by the way. This is the gal who killed Batman. So let's watch these 3 clips. They're only short. That's Harley in the first game. You know, easily disarmed. And we have the second clip. Again. Batman just easily disables up.
God, I love
and
that
then how
game
can we
so
forget the infamous Arkham City scene? It's just that she killed Batman.
It's incredible.
I'm sorry, just seeing him deck her and she ragdolls is fucking funny.
Let's play that again. It's just what was the decking? There we go. One more time.
You know, you could have done a thing. You could have given them like a MacGuffin style writing where it's just like, okay, they are the Justice League, but because they're under Brainiac's power, they only have a semblance of their power or something, or they're not right in their head. But they don't explain any of that. They straight up say, we are killing the Justice League. They're 100% power. They are just the evil bad guys. They're the bad guys now, so we get to kill them. And so it's just, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, especially if you played the Arkham games and you see what Batman goes through in them, and you see how Harley Quinn is literally a joke character in them. But okay, okay, that's fine.
And she throws away her sexy outfit. No, she's independent and strong now.
Yeah.
But yeah, brilliant set of clips, dude. I'm gonna quote tweet that because that is just brilliant and makes my point excellently. Just who is Harley Quinn to kill the bloody Batman? It's an absolute joke. It's so funny, but it's depressing at the same time. Anyway, let me move on up on the next on the list. Hang on, let me pause that. Let me find the next set of deaths. Next is Wonder Woman.
Right.
What? They managed to kill a Justice League member without degrading them. Weird how that works, isn't it, guys?
Incredible. This is, I'm just in pain. I'm sorry. Is this Did you invite me on to torture me, sir? That's what it feels like. Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
So Wonder Woman is thinking here that, okay, I got him. I stabbed him with kryptonite. Oh no, wait, he's still alive somehow. Superman just blasts her with laser eyes, and he's still standing somehow.
Despite the kryptonite blade in his chest, yeah.
I don't think that's explained. How he survived.
It should have killed him.
Even Wonder Woman is surprised.
He'll recover. Be prepared.
Shark, help me carry her in. We got medics.
See the violin, all very nice.
Why do they care about her?
Yeah.
The four of you.
She's giving advice to the main characters as well, like good advice as well. But all the other characters treated them like shit.
Why doesn't she get pissed on?
Then she turns into ashes. I think it's because she was made of clay. The hot kind of whole Amazonian mythology thing.
Oh, God. But yeah,
and
it's
kind of like dissolves, kind of like Pompeii style.
And throughout the game, she doesn't treat them well. And like you pointed out, the Flash does actually save the Suicide Squad's lives multiple times in the game.
Hang on, let me show him my dick, Gavin McGinnis style, because it saved my lives.
When's the Gavin McGinnis DLC? Then I'll buy the game. But
Gavin McGinnis boomerang.
Yeah, that's way more. You're selling me. Rocksteady, are you listening to this? That's how you're gonna get my money. But yeah, why
on
is
the
it?
Flash for free.
Why is it that Wonder Woman, who is also a hero that has gone after these horrible people so many times, why is it that they're all emotional and sad over her?
Why is she never brainwashed?
Yeah.
Is
It's
it
weird.
because she's made of clay and technically not human? But that doesn't really make sense because Clark is not human either. So
yeah, exactly.
I have no idea.
It makes no sense.
I have no devil advocate's argument for this at all.
They just it's just more self-insert. If you're gonna pick one character that isn't going bad, it's got to be this certain one, right? It was never gonna be Batman because these writers hate Batman because Batman is evil, white, rich billionaire. So yeah, we'll make Wonder Woman. We'll make strong woman. That's the one that will be good and that everyone likes.
Yeah, it is very coincidental.
Yeah, of course the woman resists the evil alien AI and doesn't have an embarrassing death.
Really makes you think there.
Really, it does really make you think. I'm not being like jokey, like maybe that is the reason because she's a woman and that's why she has an honorable death. That might be a reason. I would still like a reason, like, hey Rocksteady, could you give us a reason for this? Why Wonder Woman got a non-degrading death and why everyone else did?
They'll never be honest.
I would love to ask them that and see what they say.
Yeah, they'll lie.
And get an honest answer. I'm genuinely curious.
And that's the thing. I don't know if this. I don't know if this writing decision came from Sweet Baby. I don't know if this came from Rocksteady. I do know that this is in Sweet Baby's wheelhouse though, because they've been on like kind of press conference live streams talking about how they approach writing, and they will say like, we will take a game from a developer, we'll see something, and we'll go, no, you can't do this. You have to do this instead. This is making this character look wrong or weak, or this is not a feminist approach or whatever. So this feels like it could be a Sweet Baby decision, but then if you go look at Rocksteady's Twitter, then it's just like, oh, okay, but it could have easily been them too. So I don't even know why they hired Sweet Baby. They're the freaking same, but yeah, it's lovely. I love it.
Anyway, let's get to Superman's death, which is completely unremarkable in every single way. Yeah, by the way, they all drop like that. Well, I noticed from watching the clips, kind of ragdolly. Yeah, and you just see that camera transition, not very smooth.
That looks
I don't know how to
awful.
describe it. It's just, they just plop on the ground, kind of like old ragdolly style. It's just like, whose decision was that? That does not look good whatsoever. Just skip to the cutscene. Like, it's not that difficult.
They're wanting that smooth gameplay cutscene transition that we've seen. We see it a lot in modern fighting games. I think Mortal Kombat started it, but Injustice, which is the same developers, also do it, where they seamlessly and very smoothly will go in and out of cutscenes to gameplay. But because it's a live service game and because it's kind of an open sandbox world and everything, it's never going to be that buttery smooth as a 2D plane of a fighting game is. And so you're seeing that stutter is from loading in and out of this like big unoptimized open world and everything. So yeah, it just looks like a mess. And one of the times they delayed it was just for optimization. And so good Lord knows how bad it was before.
Apparently the file size of this game isn't that bad. That's what I heard. Not like most Call of Duty games.
Right, 100 gigs.
I can't remember exactly, like 50, 60 gigabytes, which is could be worse.
Yeah.
Can't exactly remember. That is definitely the reason. Maybe it is. I'd like to give them the benefit of that. Just interrogate them about that a little bit. Maybe they don't know what the reason. Maybe they don't know. I don't know.
Well, I will say with this game, like game development isn't one person. There is definitely people at Rocksteady that probably hate these decisions. But like, they're in debt from going to fucking school for so many years. They have to have a job and this was their dream job. And they get into the industry and they're like, oh, fuck, I was working on my dream project, a Batman game. And now you're doing this to him and spitting in the face. And you see some talent in this game. But the talent is like in some of the audio design or some of the level design looks really nice. It is not in the story. at all.
Yeah.
But
No.
there is some little bits and pieces here because, like, I mean, this was a hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people effort, and it's just like, oh, that looks good, that looks nice, but like, man, I feel bad for those people because they had to work like years and years and years of their lives away on something that now everybody rightfully so hates. It's a fucking shame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they shot him with golden kryptonite.
Back to Krypton, Kal-El. Gonna stay tapped out this time.
Harley Quinn's just so hard to look at.
Yeah.
Really hope he's dead.
Who's voicing her, by the way? Do you know?
I think it's Tara Strong. I'll check.
Well, we only went.
Her voice is
You bloody beauties!
degrading.
We killed Superman! Hell!
Yay!
Yeah, it's Tara Strong.
We killed the Man of Steel, the savior of the Earth.
Since they were all totally evil, yeah.
A titanic battle. A good, glorious battle. But one foe remains.
That's it?
Yeah, they just move on to Brainiac.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think the death of Superman should be a little bit more significant than, oh yeah, we killed him.
The death of Superman, you mean that thing that completely took over comics for an entire decade in the 90s? That changed everything forever and made everyone depressed and line up around the block for? Yeah, it should be a little bit more important, I think. Just a little bit. A little bit.
I mean, let's look at it in a positive light, all right? I mean, because all of these deaths are degrading, right? So we either get it like completely, you know, unimpressive, just completely oh, he pops dead, let's move on. We either have that option or let's degrade him and have him in his underwear. I guess I would take the first option of it being uneventful rather than the degrading. Still, there's still some kind of degradefulness. I keep using that word because I like it, because I think it summarizes my point. No, it's just unremarkable in every way. And I guess what the squad doesn't realize is that from here on out, the Earth doesn't have a Superman. So even if they kill Brainiac, let's say, he's going to fly into space and protect them from all other alien invasions. You know, the whole world is not going to have a Justice League if they manage to kill Brainiac.
Yeah, who's going to be there now to fill in the role of Superman? You've got no one.
Yep.
Yeah,
and you've completely Deus Ex the Justice League somehow. It's just like, I don't think these guys are I mean, your name is Suicide Squad. You're going to probably die. You're just people. Harley just has a baseball bat, for God's sake, you know?
I mean, just the very concept alone that Harley Quinn is sent against Superman with a baseball bat is insane to me.
Yep.
It's insane. And like we said earlier, the fact that the Justice League that's evil and has no morals doesn't just one-shot them. And this isn't the first time we've seen an evil Justice League. They've been done again and again and again and again. And then, once again, the Bruce Timm animated series Justice League, they show an evil Justice League. And Doomsday, they take Doomsday, who is literally Superman's like greatest villain. That's who killed him. He just takes Doomsday and he fucking lobotomizes him because his morals are gone. He just like, oh, you're Doomsday. Zzz, and then he just melts his brain. And it's like, that was terrifying. That's what it would be more like. Oh, you're a minor threat to me? Dead. But no, video games. So we have to make it this way.
Yep. Okay, final clip. With this one, I was just really getting tired. Because it was like 5 a.m., 5:30, and I was just like waiting for that Brainiac death. It did drop while I was editing this clip, the Brainiac death, and it basically reaffirmed the same thing. Let's watch it together.
How did you defeat my Justice League?
I don't like the design of Brainiac.
The margin of error, I've got it. It's you.
Yeah, you looked way better in Injustice too.
Well, I can't remove you from the equation now. There's too much to learn. Better to own you. No need to.
And then they
thank me
escape
for
because
my
Lex
interdiction.
bullshit
We got an
teleportation.
alien mastermind to murder.
Master Minds. When Brainiac revealed himself, there was a multi-static response across dimensions. 13 Brainiacs. What? To somehow defeat one. Your fight is far from over.
Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Brainiacs, I'm gonna come.
Do you want to do that battle for the 13th time? That boss battle with Brainiac?
Were they really
Amazing.
thinking that that would go over well? Is that like, oh, we're gonna have
Doesn't
this
sound
Brainiac
exciting,
and this
like-
Brainiac? Like,
No.
what? My God, man! It like, and
I mean-
especially, it's not good what they already built.
But James, it justifies the live service, because in a live service, you kill the same boss like 15 times. So now that we have it in the story, again, it's an example of using the multiverse as a crutch to provide content, to justify the content. It's just like killing the same guy 15 times. Just like, what? Okay, sure.
But you can get new gear from the 15th one, and then we
Yeah.
release the 16th one, and you have to grind for another 10 hours
Yeah.
to get to that one.
Maybe
Don't
he'll
worry,
have
you're
a
gonna hear
rare
so
drop.
much shitty fucking dialogue in between that goes on for hours. Aren't you excited? Maybe we'll kill Shazam next. He's a little kid. We don't fucking care.
There's 7 Justice League members. I think we're missing like 2.
Yeah.
So
I was actually thinking like that would be a way if they wanted to have this game and it go over well. Instead of doing fucking kill the Justice League, they could have been defeat the Justice League, and they could have, instead of Suicide Squad, had you start as like the lesser known Justice League characters. So you could have had Shazam, you could have had Blue Beetle, you could have even had like Nightwing or whatever, Black Canary,
Cyborg.
Green Arrow. Yeah, like Etrigan. Etrigan would have been so cool. Deadman, Zatanna, and you could have had those characters, and that could have been going on forever. And instead of like pissing on them and ripping off their fucking limbs, you could have like had them be defeated, and then like Zatanna could have like wiped their memories or something and helped them. Like there are so many ways to get around this. Comic books have been around since 1992. It's all been fucking written, but no, we have to fucking take a literal shit on the Flash's head like we're Vince McMahon or something. Good fucking lord, man.
It's the same old concept. Like these writers can only write one way. We have to put down some characters to raise our characters up.
Yeah.
2 characters can't be on the same level of competence, greatness, legacy. They can't be on the same level. You have to put someone down in order to raise someone up, artificially so. That's what this game is doing. Just putting down the Justice League, kind of, again, I said this a lot throughout the stream, degrade them in order to show your Suicide Squad in a better light. We see that in so much media nowadays. It's in Last of Us 2, it's in TLJ, it's in Doctor Who, it's probably in modern Star Trek as well. I could go on and on. It's putting down certain characters to raise your Harley Quinn fanfiction character that she was completely not in the other game.
Yeah. The bar is so low, and we have to bring all of your heroes and idols even lower. Like it takes a fucking lot, and so it's just incredible. It's just incredible. I really hope this game fails. It needs to fail. I wish people would stop supporting it, because there's a lot of great games out there from developers that would love your money and absolutely deserve it. But we'll find out.
Anyway, let's get on this. It is joke of a segment.
The samurai himself, Movie Bob.
So that Flash clip, 5.5K likes. No humble brag. What the hell? Thank you everyone for watching, I suppose, and being irritated as much as I am by these stupid deaths. Here's Movie Bob being salty over a freaking clip. Oh, it's so funny to me. It's just like, you don't need to be a media literacy guy to understand that this is just complete bullshit. And I don't get why I'm getting thrown shit all my way. It's just like, dude, this is what I'm doing here is just showing you the game. This is what the game does. All right?
Yeah.
Treats it like absolute shit. Like I reckon that if I just posted like the clips themselves without any text, I still think I'd get some of the same responses. Why are you shitting on this game and blah 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 blah?
Oh, 100%.
This is just like, I think it'd be the same attack, really, because they're kind of insecure about it, all these people. Like, no, this game has to be good. Most of these people, but I don't think Movie Bob will ever truly defend Suicide Squad. He just wants to bitch about nerds bitching. So
yeah, well, the only thing he likes is McDonald's eating competitions. What? That's not a lot of food, but yeah, no, you're 100%.
On EFAP, it's Diabito.
I'll never forget Movie Bob and the many faces of him, whether it's in a Mario outfit or a samurai outfit. This man, he's incredible.
Yep. I just, that made my day. If Movie Bob is commenting on my clips, I must have done something right. You know?
True.
If he's angry at me. Now, this one was certainly a surprise. Reagan. I've only heard him be kind of like have weird takes on stuff. I don't actually know who this guy is. So, James, could you give us a concept of who this guy is?
I'm an old man and I've been on the internet a long time, and so is Chris Raygun. I don't even know how to summarize him, to be honest, but yeah, he's been on the internet quite a long time and gives takes and all that stuff. So yeah, a lot of people found it funny that Chris Raygun was going after you, of all people, because like Chris Raygun he's not like Movie Bob, right? He doesn't always give like the worst takes possible, but every now and then he'll have something like this going on. And you know, with this take, I almost see what he's saying here. I get it. They're not supposed to be good people, but this is what I talked about earlier. It's like they can be bad people, but they can still be likable.
Yeah.
And
it's all about the
video
execution.
game.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I pointed out that Silver Age comic where the Flash died and the literal character Boomerang was still respectful, and like that had more depth than anything in this game, because he was just like, no, I'm gonna respect the dead. You know, he's dead now. We don't have to deal with him anymore. But I'm gonna respect my arch enemy here and not reveal his who he is, his secret identity. There's no point. He's dead. So that would have been more likable. You could have had a likable Boomerang. You could have had a likable any villain, Lex Luthor. But yeah, that's the thing, is these are not the antagonists of the game. These aren't the villains. Even though they refer to themselves as the villain several times, which is stupid, because why would a villain refer to themselves as the bad guy? But they're you. They're a representation of you in the game, and they're the protagonists. So they do have to be somewhat likable.
So when I first saw this tweet, scrolling through as it blew up when I woke up, this is how I read this tweet. All right, let me just put on my glasses and just read it in a Ben Shapiro pretentious ass voice. I think people are being babyish about this game. Honestly, there's a lot that looks bad about it. It's Arkham Connection, dumb bad UI and everything. But I'm seeing a lot of people upset that the Suicide Squad aren't morally upstanding people. It's a mega goofy criticism. It's just like, I've seen this time and time again in my notifications. They're villains. They're supposed to be disrespectful. No, it's not that the villains are disrespectful. I feel like this whole game is disrespectful. I feel like the writers themselves are disrespecting the legacy of all the Arkham world.
Yeah.
It's not just because the villains are villains. All right? There is a way to execute this without shitting all over your legacy characters. All right? And you don't need to be media literate or a super mega nerd to see that. All right? As I've said, we've had this time and time again with prime example, The Last of Us 2. This kind of deconstruction of characters. And literally, Boomerang unzips his cock to piss at the Flash. Like, look me in the eye and tell me that's not degrading. All right?
Yeah.
Just way
And
overboard.
you have to go on
You
and play
could
another
have-
30 hours as that character.
Yeah, you could simply have him just say, like, oh, I'd like to piss on his corpse. And so just say, dude, don't do that. But no, they took it at one step further where he just pulls his cock out and people just make dick jokes about his dick. What the hell?
Yeah.
You did not have to take it that far. You could have the suggestion, and that would still be in character. But to go to this extreme length is just, we want to piss on the legacy of the Flash, even though he saved you twice in the fucking game, you know?
Yeah.
Also, I really despise this last line. I'm seeing a lot of people upset that the Suicide Squad aren't morally upstanding people. Like, that's not the fucking complaint. The complaint isn't that they're bad guys. The complaint is that what they're doing is fucking extreme and out there. Like, yeah, they're bad guys. Bad guys do extreme things, but like, it's a step beyond. And as you guys have already said numerous times, these are characters you're playing as. You're supposed to be, like, even if they're bad guys, you could be endeared to, like, evil characters if they're written well. This just makes them seem like unlikable dickheads.
For example, all the antagonists from the previous Arkham games are more likable and relatable than the Suicide Squad, the protagonists in this game. So you have Joker, you have Scarecrow, and you have Hugo Strange. And it's just like, what are their, Joker is just fucking chaos, and he takes over the, Arkham Asylum, but he's fun. And so it's hard to hate him because he's got a great cult of personality. None of these characters have a good personality. Then you go to Hugo Strange, who is trying to make a prison camp and all this stuff. And he's trying to say, like, this is how we're going to handle society, as we're going to take like a part of the city. And that's where we're going to put all the criminals in just to do whatever. And it's just like, oh, okay, that seems extreme, but it's at least, okay, you're trying to solve crime in that way. And then you go over to Arkham Knight and you have someone that's trying to get things done to a more extreme than Batman is. And you have Scarecrow, who's like this cool badass villain and everything. Like, all of these characters are more enjoyable, even though you're not supposed to like them, than the characters that you are supposed to like and play as in this game. This game is just exhausting to play. It's exhausting to look at. In fact, the part that made me like almost turn off the stream, it wasn't even like pissing on the Flash or stripping down Green Lantern. It was actually what they did to Penguin, who is not a good person. There's a scene where they have to catch Penguin and Penguin's running away. They knock him out and Harley Quinn is like, oh, what's that? Penguin, is he still running away, Amanda Waller? And Amanda Waller's like, got it. And she starts shocking his like unconscious body, and he's just laying there like violently convulsing, and all of the Suicide Squad are laughing. And the thing is, the writer is expecting you to laugh with them. They're not treating this as this is fucked up. They think this is funny. This is what's funny.
Find
and
it funny. Why shouldn't you?
And I'm watching this being like, what the fuck? And then this goes on for several minutes, because then Deadshot's like, oh yeah, he's still getting away. Pans over to his unconscious body, violently shaking, and them all just laughing. And these are your protagonists laughing. Therefore, what they're doing, you should also think is funny. And the whole thing just comes off odd and tilted and wrong. And if you don't agree with it, then you're in the wrong. It makes no fucking sense, man. So I don't know why you would like this.
And
I see Admiral Tony Donning in the chat saying Postal 2 is funny. Why aren't you laughing? And that's the thing is, Postal 2 gives you agency. So Postal 2, one of my favorite games ever, you do horrible shit in that game. But here's the thing. There's actually an achievement for doing a full pacifist run. You can beat the game without ever killing anybody. There's a part of the game where you have to go to confession and you stand in line for 2 hours. So literal 2 hours, or you can kill everybody. And so nobody waited for 2 hours or whatever, but you can. And that's fucking great commentary. That's fucking great. See, that's the difference.
I reckon there's also like some villains who actually respect their opponent, and that kind of makes them even more likable. I'm trying to think of like concrete example. There are definitely some out there. Like one, I suppose, would be Watchmen, where the guy tries to save the Earth, and kind of unleashes the squid monster. I can't remember his name.
Ozymandias.
Yes. It's just morally upstanding, or maybe not so, but he's trying to do the greater good and all that. There are villains you can sympathize with and can kind of respect.
Yeah.
And engage with, and these are people are just like, you ask yourself, why would I ever like Harley in this game?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I ever like Boomerang with his obnoxious accent and pulling his dick out on Flash?
And
again, it's the rule of having a somewhat likable. We have nothing here. They just went
you're talking
full
to
on
someone that like, I own a Harley statue. I absolutely used to love Harley, and she was a victim of her environment and everything. In the animated series, she's an incredible, amazing, and endearing character. Like the episode where she's just trying to get her life back together, and she's like just wanting to go shopping and be like a normal girl, and then one thing leads to another, and she's accidentally committing crime. And Batman at the end of it is kind of like, I get it, I've had bad days too, and it's like amazing. It's just amazing stuff. But in this one, she's just so oozing in like insufferable and just terrible and unlikable at every fucking turn.
Yep. So last, to be honest, Muller here comes out of nowhere. Bitch slaps that take. What an absolute Chad. Right now he's suffering the Suicide Squad. I think he might be still playing.
I'll check. I'm curious.
Moment of review. Drum roll, please.
I don't have a drum roll. Go to his stream and he's just screaming violently. Like, what is this?
Oh no!
My god!
It appears he is no longer streaming.
Okay. Thank God. He stopped the pain. He tapped out. Oh,
we need a safety check on Mulder. Is he okay after going through that? Oh my god.
Oh, like, I hope, to Mulder's case, I hope his plan was always to play this game, because part of me thinks like maybe after reading this Chris Ray Gun take, then he decided to play the game in its entirety. So possibly in a way,
you're responsible for his pain.
Yeah. I kind of feel guilty about that. If that's, I hope it was always the case that I was not the domino that got Muller to play Suicide Squad. I hope that was always the case to play it. Otherwise, you know what? Yeah, it's good content. So you're welcome, Muller, I suppose. That's probably not. I'm just self-inserting like exactly like the writers of the game are in Suicide Squad. Anyway. Anyone saying this game's called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and you thought they would be nice should be trusted to poop without a helmet. Writers can imagine a hell of a more than figuratively and literally pisses on corpse when killing beloved characters. Yep. It's all about the execution.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can't think of a time that a villain has been treated so poorly with their kill. Like, how many times has Joker died and like it's always treated with like respect and everything and all this, but no, in this fucking game you have these heroes that are the characters you're supposed to like just getting literally paraded around. It's incredible.
That's a fantastic point. You don't see when villains died throughout the Arkham world or in any media, I don't see them disrespected in this kind of way at all.
No.
Like, I don't see like the hero pulling out his dick and trying to piss on them.
Because then they would be unlikable, and then you would hate them, and you'd think it's fucked up. You want your protagonist to be fucking likable.
Yeah. So villains aren't killed off this way. Why should heroes?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yep.
Ugh.
Anyway, that nicely wraps us towards the end of the stream. I'm sure there's plenty of more salty quote tweets all over my posts. Lofty even was bitching about my posts. I'm like, God damn it, Lofty. Why? That guy loves to argue. I don't, But I think he likes to argue more than being right. Whatever. And it's just like, I've got a lot of salty tweets. I guess I could dig this out for content, respond to some if you guys would like. But I'm thinking of doing a video on this when I'm gonna watch all of his live stream just to get a taste for all of the story and the gameplay. And I might do a video on this, just like a short one of explaining my thoughts behind this game. Like what was the thinking behind this? What was the philosophy? And I think I'd compare it to games like The Last of Us 2 and stuff like that. It's definitely subversive, definitely a spiteful Trashfire. That it's spiteful towards heroes that we'd actually like, you know. Your guys' closing thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I just I really hope that a game like this that is so insufferable, not only I mean, there's no salvaging this game. I know it's Kevin Conroy's final performance, or maybe we'll see if the Cape Crusader ever actually comes out, but I know it's his final performance, but I mean, there isn't a lot of content there, and there's nothing to be like. It's a complete disrespect to him, despite that thank you, Kevin message at the end. There's nothing you can ignore that makes this a likable, enjoyable game. The protagonists are insufferable. The gameplay is mediocre at best. It's a shallow open world live service game that's just trying to nickel and dime you out of your money and keep you leeched in there forever. And the entire time that you're playing it, it's just spitting in your face, spitting in the characters that you love and the characters that you enjoy. And I just want to say that there's so many other games out there, and sure, they may not be Justice League games, but there's so many other games out there by developers that just don't have any money that are like, please like my game. We'll be happy to have you. We'll be happy if you like our game. That's what we want more than anything. Go find those guys. Go support those games, because these guys that absolutely hate you do not deserve your money. If I ever play this game, I guarantee you it's going to be because it was in the fucking used dollar bin. They're not getting a fucking cent from me anymore. So I'm not saying I will never play it. Arkham City is my favorite game of all time. I do want to suffer through this one day, but I'm going to wait years and years and years, and I'm going to make sure that they don't get $1 from me, because fuck them. I hate you too. That's how I feel about you.
Cree, what about you?
Well, first of all, if you do make a video on this game, make sure to piss on the corpse of this game.
Set it aflame as well.
Literally, I want to see that camera and put it in a urinal there.
You know what I'm tempted to do? Just respond to like all the detractors in my mentions, and because you know everyone's been telling me to touch grass. That's what I'm gonna do. Go outside the field and touch grass, and then just say, "Well, that was easy." Wait, guys, was this supposed to be hard? Oh, that was projection. You can't do the same. Oh, okay, I see how it is. And do something like that. You know, just grass and touching it. Feels very nice, grass, you know? Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No. That's fine. I didn't have too much to say. Yeah, it just seems like a piece of shit game made with... Obviously, you know, I'm not going to blame the whole team behind it. Like, some people, it's just them doing their job. It's the people writing this crap and pushing this crap that's the problem, as with most things. Yeah, like... MeleeGames said, there's other indie games out there. Go check those out. Some of them are pretty good. And play a little bit of Pal World. That's fun. It's definitely a better investment of your time than this crap.
Those devs deserve it. That's not even my kind of game. I don't like survival games, but like they absolutely deserve your time and money. Those are great guys.
Dude, the fact they had 2 million people playing all at once the other day, holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Those servers, rest in peace. Anyway, that will wrap it up nicely for us. Would you guys like to outro yourselves, essentially? All of these guys' social media stuff are in the description below. Do give them a follow. I've got James's Twitter and Linktree, and Creetosis' Twitter and YouTube channel. Do go check them out.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, okay. Again, thank you so much for being on here at short notice as well. This stream, I was like, okay, I really need to do the stream. Otherwise, people are going to be asking me about it on tomorrow's stream. That's not relevant at all. Tomorrow is going to be a character study all on Spider-Man. I am a huge Spidey fan. And yeah, I'm gonna have Wicked Virtue as a guest. I can't wait for it. I'm a real Spider-Man nerd. So yeah, looking forward to this. And because my Twitter blew up, I just thought I kind of have to cover this, don't I? So you guys can't say that I didn't follow up on it. So anyway, thank you everyone so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. James, Creed, do you guys have anything coming up in the future?
Yeah, you know what? I wasn't sure if I was going to do this, but here's what we're going to do, folks. If you're listening right now, I've got some Monster Energy left. Why don't we celebrate some good games? Why don't we have something good going down today? If you're new to me, hey, I'm MeleeGames. I am one half of MeleeGames here, where we do all things gaming. And I'm going to say, what time is it? It's 8 o'clock right now, 8:10 p.m. You can catch me live over on our channel. We're going to play something good. You know what? Fuck New Rocksteady. We're going to go old school. We're going to play some Arkham City. We're going to play some Arkham City by, I want to say, 9:30 p.m. PST, because I got to go set it up and write a description and all that stuff. So if you want a fun after party where we're going to talk about a good game and something that's worth playing, even though it's from these shitty fucking devs, that's what we're going to do. So check out Arkham City coming up in about an hour and a half, and I'll be live with that.
Nice. Very, very nice. Kree, anything you'd like to announce?
Nothing in particular. I've got my Starfield review coming up, hopefully in the next week or two, and after that,
that's a big
I'm
one.
going to be working on. This is just a review. It's only going to be about 2 hours long. I am working on a full analysis,
2 hours,
and is looking to be fucking massive. I might not be able to fit it in one video.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, check out the EFAP that Creetosis is on if you like. I hate all things Starfield. Definitely. Dude's machine. I don't know how you do it, 2 hours. I struggle to do 15 minutes, it says a lot about me. I mean, scripting, the editing, a lot of work into it. And yeah, I definitely admire that. I'm a beginner, so definitely learning the ins and outs of YouTube and how to edit is just...
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's definitely a
this
process.
is just crazy. Yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Bye.
Have a good one.